Good afternoon and happy Monday. And it's Motivation Monday as usual. And I'm not sure if everybody was convinced that the sun would come out, but here it is. And the high today is going to be 17. And it's kind of cool to start a whole new week and moving forward with a lot of places implementing phase 2. So I just want to let you guys know that I still intend to be here in some form or another every day live, but we are going to go out into the community. So every day we may be, who knows where we are as things are opening up more and more. For example, today, the Derrick Golf and Winter Club sent out their newsletter this morning, and you're now allowed to ride on a power car with someone you don't live with. They will provide you with a mask if that's what you're comfortable with. Also, the clubhouse or the restaurant is open as well, and you're allowed a maximum of 6 people per table, and they have, of course, separated the tables, etc. When it comes to actually showing up for your tea time, you are only allowed to show up 15 minutes before. I think there are only 4 stalls open on the driving range. So this makes all the golfers out there, and of course it's golf season. So I actually am going to take a drive down later this afternoon to check out the Derrick Golf and Winter Club. So I will go a little live later while I'm there, and so we can see the lush greenness of this beautiful golf course in South Edmonton. So for all you golfers, get out there and get as many rounds as you can. We all could use the cardio, walk a little, ride a little. Now you can ride with your buddy. You don't have to ride alone. So, and of course, it's Monday as we move forward over the next coming weeks. Things, of course, are opened up. So I think we'll see a whole shift and change for all these live things. They'll be shorter and shorter because everyone will be just more distracted with planning summer. And of course, you know, we're only a few days away from the official first day of summer. So that's great. And, you know, I'm so sorry about all the flooding and things like that in Calgary. And I know that we've had unusual rains here. So some of our clients have experienced water finding its way in their basement, maybe even after 40 or 50 years. But water is interesting. But I know that some of the foundation experts in our community are very busy, but they are there to help. So you can certainly reach out to Aberrant Construction. I know that they're very, very busy, but Nancy at their office is available. So if you've got some challenges that way, by all means. And as we move forward in planning and thinking about whether we improve our home or move forward, let someone else do that, is the time to press the restart button. And you all know that I am very focused on it's really what's best for you. Is it important that you make the change now? And when you're ready, it's really, truly the right time. And every week for the past many, many, many weeks, we've been blessed to have, you know, experts in our community share their knowledge and experience with us. And as we move forward, we'll still get financing updates and investment updates and real estate updates and, you know, how to create your own space and change it. And one of the things, you know, I mean, you know, everyone is focused on saving for a rainy day now, so to speak. So, you know, if you're unhappy with your space after you've been locked down for almost, some people are still locked down, and we have to be mindful and respectful of that. And I'm going to ask you guys out there, it's really very nice to extend invitations to your friends and your family to join you. But I think we have to not put a lot of pressure on people. There are still a lot of people who are just not comfortable with being in crowded spaces or even space with 15 or 50 people. So I think that it's still wonderful to extend invitations to people that, meant something to you, but respect their, if they decline politely, please understand, because every one of us has our own, risk tolerance, and where we want to be and where we're comfortable. So some people actually, in talking to many people, they actually got to know themselves better, and they're actually very comfortable with their own company. Okay. A lot of people have found ways, they've caught up in reading. They have emptied cupboards and closets and all kinds of things. So as we move forward, right, my focus is nesting and how we nest since we've been in isolation, and we've learned new ways to do things. So first and foremost, right, if you don't have the money to invest in doing major renovations in your home, my first recommendation is think about rearranging the furniture, right? Move things around. There's nothing more refreshing than moving things around. Even change the painting on the wall. The whole room takes on a whole different feel. And when we're getting our home ready for sale, we need to take that kind of eye, right? Think about how someone will look at the space as they enter the space, right? So, and we also have to make it easy and comfortable for people to visualize themselves nesting in your space as you let go of your home. And yeah, so, I practiced this yesterday just by moving a few things around and changing a photograph and a painting, how it changes the whole room and how it makes you feel. And for a lot of us, I have always recommend we go down to our basement where we store all our possessions that we don't really want anymore, and we're saving it for a child or a friend, but revisit some of the things in your home. It's so easy. And as the discussion that I had with my daughter over the weekend, and she was enlightening me on something that she read, and it had to do with forming new habits with respect to cleaning in our homes, right? So there are lots of different ways. Not everything works for everyone. And I know it's a lot of stress in trying to keep up a home, especially when you have children and pets and things running around. It can be rather overwhelming. So her recommendation is we focus on maybe one thing, and we do it for 15 minutes a day, and then you build up and build up. So it's something that she said. So I'm looking forward to receiving that article, Tiffany Munro. Thank you. And with respect to keeping our environment organized and learning new ways to just not be overwhelmed when it comes to thinking about, well, I have to keep it perfect, and I have to clean, and I have to de-junk, and I have to do this, right? I think you compared it with the, everybody was on that craze about the joy of organizing, right? So, but there are ways, I think, to learn, new habits. And for a lot of us, it's instilled in the beginning, when we're young, and in keeping our beautiful space. And we the other thing that we have learned recently that people are recognizing is perhaps, the space. Some may need more square footage and other needs less square footage. And I think by really refocusing on room by room, you can actually change your environment. Or when you enter a space looking at, expanding, if there's a children are growing, then there's lots of different ways, to approach a space. You don't necessarily, need to have one room for everything that you do. You can actually focus and look at maybe multi-purpose things in a particular room. So over the next several days, we'll be we'll be all over the place since we're allowed to move around. I've always been allowed to show properties where we were allowed to go in. I am asking people to please respect the requests of sellers who ask you to wear masks and gloves as you enter their space. They still turn on the lights. We ask you not to touch the light switches or open things. So every seller we're finding out there has special requirements. Some sellers are even asking us to leave the children at home. Don't bring them into the space because it's very difficult on parents to keep telling their children, don't touch this, don't touch that. So if at all possible, I know I myself have babysat the children in the car while, in the past. So we've tried to figure that out. But, if planning ahead, it really is very important. And I thank you all for respecting the requirements of sellers as you enter their space. We're all working very, very hard to live with COVID-19. That's what I'm calling it, right? Because a vaccine is not imminent. We have to manage how we live with COVID-19 around us. No different than we live with the flu and we've lived with other things in the past as we move forward. But we need to be respectful and not pressure people to be in situations that they're not comfortable with. Right. So it's back to, whatever people feel comfortable with is okay. And it's really, we're back to manners. And I'm hoping that maybe we can talk about what COVID manners look like. So, I have a friend and she teaches manners protocol for all different situations. So I'm sure by now she's evolved what is appropriate. And I will reach out to her. So in the next coming days and weeks, right? Please, it's whatever is important to you. And do not ever feel rejected because people know that you're not comfortable and then they don't invite you to a barbecue or whatever. It doesn't matter. None of these things matter. As we move forward and we figure out how we make ourselves happy, how we create our foundation and what I call our nest. What is your level of tolerance, right? And really, how many friends do you really need? Start by looking at the person next to you. For most of us who have been fortunate to be in a solid relationship, we've either figured out that maybe we love each other more or we don't, or we've discussed habits. And for some of us, we've made it a point daily to talk about things that we remember to tell each other. And I think that's really more important, right? So, and, I always say, it's a party with one, but even if it's two, it's a party. So all I'm asking is that we might be mindful and respectful of people's spaces and places. And we're seeing a lot of movement right now in our real estate market. Some things are selling, others are not. Delighted to report that the highest price sold, of a home this year, so we all have now loftier goals to reach, is $4.2 million. A property on Windermere Drive that had sold previously and now is apparently resold again. So that's fantastic. Prior to that, it was 2 million, I think it was 850. And prior to that, this year was 2,750,000. So there's the high, and we certainly have lots of things from every price range for every millionaire, right? And those of you who know me on a personal level, I've sold an $87,000 mobile home, and that was that man's castle. And he, in my mind, that he was a millionaire. And we have houses that were $10 million. And that's fantastic. That's a mega mansion and that generational estate. And so wherever you are and whatever you're happy in, that's your mansion and you are a millionaire. I certainly hope that on Thursdays that our friend Leo will still provide us with lots of information on making a plan and how, depending on your age, you can start saving to be a millionaire. Invest an hour and looking at your plan and implement a plan, right? And surround yourself with experts, right? There are lots of them in our community. We have trusted contractors, right? People that can do your roofs, people that have been around for a long time. your driveways, your gutters, your cleaning, your tree pruning. There are bona fide people in our marketplace. And remember, scams apparently are still around, so just beware. If it's too good to be true, it probably is, right? So if you get 3 quotes on something, and that's still, I highly recommend 3 quotes, right? If you can get it, at least it gives you a foundation and a basis. And do always ask for references. Even in our industry, people ask for references, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone can work with everyone, and certain people have different needs, and that's why there are over 3,200 of us. And so there's bound to be a real estate agent you can trust, a mortgage broker you can trust, a lawyer you can trust. So my advice as we move forward is, take the time to find and surround yourself with people that you trust, and trust your instincts too. We all have basic instincts that we can rely on. But one thing for sure that's really important, right? You have to take a step every day towards your goal, right? Formulate some goals and take action. That's the only way that we move forward. And so the way I like to think of this COVID-19 is trying to find ways to live with COVID, because COVID-19 is still around us. We just have to be mindful. It's just like the flu, right? Mind you, people did go and get the flu shot. Some believed in it, some didn't. So it's just really your level of tolerance and your level of risk. And, apply the 4-way test. I always like to apply the 4-way test to things, right? One of the things is, right, is it the truth, right? And, will it be beneficial to all? Those are just basic things that we've learned over time. And yeah, no, I'm proud to still be here every morning. I'm very blessed to be here and be able to still move around. And I am delighted to have been here for 40 years. Every day I've seen lots of ups, I've seen lots of downs. I myself have faced lots of ups and downs in my life. And but I am still here, and I count my blessings every day. And so every day there's something, I learn something new daily, and I try very hard to pass it on. I want to thank you all for always being supportive. And as we move forward, we will focus on nesting, right? So we will forward on nesting. What I call nesting, making your own environment comfortable and making yourself happy. So over the next coming few days, we will be talking about how to do just that. And I just love Google. There's so many people out there. We will definitely end up having a couple of people that'll show us how to, revamp your master bedroom to make it comfortable. If you're moving to a new space, what you should be focused on and what's important. But I think that, analyze what you need and when the time is right. We all have different reasons for changing our environment, and sometimes a change is better than a vacation, since we're not sure yet when we can fly to different venues and vacation spots. I spoke to a client, and he was making his way into BC. He was delighted to report that he had arrived in the Radium area, and he saw lots of vehicles with Alberta plates. But just be careful where you park and what you do, okay? And thank you so much, and I'm so excited. I am actually going to be heading out this afternoon, and I will go live direct from there just for a few minutes as I show you that environment. I'm excited to set foot at the Derrick Golf and Winter Club later this afternoon, probably around 2:15. We're only allowed to be there like 15 minutes before. And thank you so much, and for being supportive, and for all your good wishes, and for everyone that's been here and being supportive for the past 3 months. And may we move forward and keep the numbers of COVID positive people in our province down. And thank you to all our healthcare professionals. I know that you frightened us, and it worked, and you kept the system from being overwhelmed. But now you have to help us live with COVID-19 as we move forward. Thank you, and God bless you all. And I will see you again tomorrow All the best and enjoy this beautiful afternoon. The high will be about 17 or 18 degrees, and so that's wonderful. Enjoy the sun, get some vitamin D. And thank you all for being here, as always. Together, we achieve more. Thank you, Albert Einstein. Bye for now. Take care.